It appears Nikki Haley has read the indictment. She's now also criticizing the former president. On Friday, before the indictment was unsealed, the former UN ambassador tweeted in support of Trump, writing, quote, "This is not how justice should be pursued in our country. The American people are exhausted by the prosecutorial overreach, double standards, and vendetta politics." But then, yesterday on Fox News, Nikki Haley condemned Trump.
If this indictment is true, if what it says is actually the case, President Trump was incredibly reckless with our national security. More than that, I'm a military spouse. My husband's about to deploy this weekend. This puts all of our military men and women in danger if you are going to talk about what our military is capable of or how we would go about invading or doing something with one of our enemies. And if that's the case, it's reckless, it's frustrating, and it causes problems. And, you know, we're looking now, this is the second indictment. We're looking at possibly a third indictment coming in with Georgia.
So I'm just looking at what
Another
you said there.
person who worked for Trump, by the
Another
way.
person who worked
Like
for Trump, UN ambassador. That's all you ask for in a leader.
Yeah.
They can change their mind, right? She saw it, and she said, if.
And it's never too late.
If this is true. This is incredibly reckless, incredibly damning, and she has a very personal reason for being concerned about it because her husband's in the military.
And I think by her making it about her personal feelings with her husband, it brings us back in the court of where we ought to be. The most disturbing thing to me about what Speaker McCarthy says is he acts as though if there was a lock, I don't care if it was a bolted lock on the door, that the documents had a right to be in the bathroom. They have moved this whole thing to like Donald Trump had the right to have the documents. Didn't matter whether it was a lock on the door.
Here's the thing, right? Like, we keep forgetting this. I talk about it all the time. When I would go up and I would get intel I'd see some documents. I'd have a hearing, the Armed Services Committee. They say, you need to go upstairs, get this gift, you need to sit. You sit in there. They do everything, but they like hose you down. Maybe they just hosed me down. Maybe it was just me. I don't know. But you go through all these steps. You have a phone, you put the phone here, you go and you sit down. And I will tell you, I wasn't intimidated like being around presidents and prime ministers and everybody else in little small rooms. It didn't faze me at all. I always knew, I put my hand up here. I was nervous in there because the consequences were so great if you screwed up. I've said it here on this show before. I had briefings on North Korea in 1998 that I still won't talk about today. I'm sure it's been totally fine to talk, but everybody's just trained.
Right.
If they come in and say, this is like top secret. This is classified information. This is you cannot repeat this to anybody. Here I am 30 years later, almost 30 years later. That sticks with you. Kevin McCarthy's the same way. Kevin McCarthy's not going in and stealing documents. Kevin McCarthy's not taking documents out to California and throwing them in the bathroom at a surfer friend's house. He's just not doing it. They know better. You don't do this.
And if you had taken any of those documents to your congressional office at the time, it doesn't matter whether you had a lock on the door or not. They were not supposed to be out of the place that you were told to keep them.
And by the way, everybody's attacking the FBI.
Yeah.
We all knew. You slip a document here, you go even to your congressional office, forget taking it out. Johnny Law Dog's there. Yeah, you're right. You got the FBI and a big dog coming in, sniffing your room for documents or whatever. But we all knew that. McCarthy knows that. He would never take it from the SCIF, even to his speaker's office, without authorization. Or the FBI would come calling. And now they're trashing the FBI for doing to Donald Trump what they would do to them for much less.
Absolutely. And I think that's the outrage of their defense, if you want to call it a defense. And I think that Nikki Haley, who I don't agree on most things, was right to finally say, wait a minute, I'm going to take a change of mind here, which is fine. Yeah. And I think Chris Christie, who I don't agree with on many things, was excellent last night. I mean, I think that he did what the Republican Party needs to do. Let's have some standards returned to the political.
Let's have some standards. By the way, the question for Kevin McCarthy, is that just ask him, would you take out documents from a SCIF to your office and put them in your drawer? Would you put them in your coat pocket and take them home? And when you were asked to return them, would you not give them back? Just ask him that.
But what they're doing is
will be correct.
They're not answering the questions.
Well,
they answer the question, well, what do you think about Joe Biden's Corvette, is what he said. And then Lindsey Graham was well, the Republicans are very concerned. The Republicans want to know. He always talks about the Republicans. Lindsey knows.
My God.
That Donald, his golf partner, has committed a multitude of crimes. Lindsey deals with this stuff on the Armed Services Committee. He knows better. But listen to what they say. They never, and this is what Brit Hume brought up last night on Fox, they never say he didn't commit these crimes.
Right.
They never say he's an innocent man.
Just
no
like
Billy Joel singing out there. They never say it. That's because he's guilty. He's guilty in all these counts. They know he's guilty in all these counts. So they do the James Carville, look at the bird over there, look at the bird over there.